It's official. We're in business, guys.
All right.
Here's where we do it at, baby. Cooperative economics. What's happening, everybody? This is DJ the Money Coach coming to you live January 17th, 2024. And history has already been recorded. That's right. We just opened up a 220-unit luxury residential resort in Zanzibar. We also are completing 4 luxury townhouses in Zanzibar. And we're also going to open up the Pom Pom Lifestyle Resort in Zanzibar. It's Africans for Africans, supported by Black Americans unapologetically. So what time is it?
The Pom Pom
Lifestyle Movement can't be stopped. Hit the link. Join us on the Beaches World in Zanzibar. Home is ours. Peace.
All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Family Finance Friday with DJ the Money Coach and Nick Westbrooks. And this show is brought to you by the DJ the Money Coach team and the 7 Spheres of Money systems. And before we get started, like the video, share it with 5 people. And if you're not already subscribed to this YouTube channel, subscribe to DJ the Money Coach right here on YouTube so you can help us spread the message, spread the good news about the Pom Pom Lifestyle Movement, which is plenty of money, peace of mind. And we invite you to come join us on the Beaches of the World Club, not just here on Fridays at Family Finance Friday, but every single day, year round. And we're gonna go ahead and go to tonight's beach. Every Friday we go to a different beach, and let's go to tonight's beach, man. So happy Friday, DJ.
What's happening, Nick? How's everything out there? Every day above ground with your health is a great day. All the time, baby. Thank goodness it's Friday, even though we're, taking on some serious storms and everything in the area. Everything's still good, man. So we're excited. We're a week away. Be celebrating my youngest son graduation from high school. So we're excited about that. Bring the grandparents in, everybody be together, and older brother here, man. So we're excited, man. Things are great, man. So we can't complain. So today is just a general day, man. We just call and I mean not call, but we'll just talk about whatever that's flowing right now. Right now, we obviously know, we are in a recession that most people have acknowledged. And the key thing to do now is to make sure that you have your emergency funds, up to par. Make sure you're only investing in things that you need, and make sure that you are only spending money very strategically. I mean, so one of the things that we come to find out when we are in recessionary modes, people usually live vicariously through the entertainment world. So I would encourage you to actually take a chance and read more, study more, get quality time with your family, because that's very important. And from there, that way you don't get caught up in all the, virtual and living vicariously through other people's, vehicles. Live through your own. That's the first and foremost one that you should do. So normally at this time, I would reassess, all those things that you have to pay for, reassess your insurance policies, your home, auto, life, short-term disability, deferred comp. Make sure you're not overpaying for those things. And you should always review these things at least once or twice a year. Because right now, even though we're in a recession, unfortunately, these companies out there, they're not in a recession because they're charging over what they normally charge just so they can gouge and they can, patent their, coffers. So don't become a victim to that. So how do you do that? One, know how to buy insurance the right way. Okay. As it pertains to, home, auto, and life, there's a certain way to buy it. It's when everything's equal, be it your age, your credit score, your health, and your income, then you have to buy these policies based on, what's called cost per thousand. Okay. Cost per thousand. And that's where you break down the actual unit of measure and then you pay for it per 1,000. And so if you're currently not sure how that works, what the first thing you should do is find yourself an actual highly accomplished, highly experienced expert in that lane. Okay. If you don't know how to do that, then the first thing you should do is give us a call. Give us a call at 1-866-395-3042, 1-866-395-3042, or you can email us at nick@djthemoneycoach.com. Okay. And what we'll do is, as licensed professionals, which we are, we will show you how to break down those policies. And that's extremely important. So, everybody on our team are licensed professionals. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, as I talked about, the emergency fund. So generally, this is very important now that, you have emergency fund from 3 to 6 months of your monthly gross income. And if you are above the 6-figure, threshold, then you should be on the 6 to 12 month side. Now, if you're not there, then the first thing you want to do is do an assessment of all your reoccurring expenses, because this is where you're going to find the hidden money at. What do I mean by that? Well, let's just take, for instance, a lot of people buy bottled water, okay? And a lot of people are into the alkalines and the name brands. And let me just be honest with you. Let me be honest with you. I got 5 decades on this planet. And I personally have never consumed, super name brand water, very rarely drink alkaline water. I'm not knocking these things, but let me be real with you. Okay. If you go and check the actual science and the studies, most of these bottled waters and filtered waters are no better than tap water. Now, I'm not saying you take my opinion on this. I'm saying do the research. Okay. And once you do the research, then you should do how we attack finances. And this is called Family Finance Friday for a reason, because common sense is not always commonplace in the world. Okay. So a lot of people lack common sense, and a lot of people are sheep, and a lot of people have the inability to think for themselves. And that's when they get caught off into voyeurism and escapism and living vicariously through other people. So they take, somebody says something that looks like it's reputable, and they don't do the research behind it. And then they just start doing what they do, and they don't know anything for it. So here's what I mean by that. If you go do the research, you'll find out that most of these bottled waters and most of these high name waters, they're no better than tap water. Now, am I a tap water consumer? No, I'm not. I have a filter, but it's a very inexpensive filter. And I do buy bottled water, but you know what I buy? I buy the off-brand bottled water from my local grocer. Okay? So when I don't feel like, drinking the filtered water in my filtration system that I, purchased that was inexpensive, I go get the off-brand bottled water. I don't go get the Fiji and whatever the names. I don't even know the names. But here's the reality. 5 decades on this planet, I'm in the best shape, the best health of my life. Now, let's juxtapose that with the vitamin industry, okay? And I know a lot of people, I'm not here to be popular. I'm here to tell you the truth. I know a lot of people talk about the athletic greens and the organics and all that great stuff, and that stuff is phenomenal. But truth be told, that stuff is the most expensive stuff on the planet. Now, before you even say it, hey, DJ, I'd rather spend more money on that than being in the hospital. I'd agree with you. But again, if you do your research, you'll find out a lot of that stuff, they got the name brand and organic and super this and super that. It still doesn't provide the same results in the exact correlation to the price that they charge you for it. You'd be better served if you took the time to plant your own garden if you have the ability to do that. They have gardens in urban communities. They have gardens on rooftops. They have gardens on the side of their homes. My point is here is that just because somebody tells you it's athletic greens, it's organic that, do you know that almost everything in the store is organic now because it's a marketing scam? And it's basically is a license to pillage and fleece people. So if you do your research and you find the mantra that we live by, we like Neiman Market stuff, high super quality at Walmart prices. That's the reason why Costco, Sam's Club, Trader Joe's, Sprouts, these companies have sprung up and become multi-billion dollar, trillion dollar industries, because the trigger is, oh, it's organic, it's super athletic greens, it's sprouts, it's kiwi, it's seaweed, all of that great stuff. But here's the reality. If you just took the time, did some research, consume some quality filtered water, eat some quality real fruit and vegetables, because you know what the codes are that they put on the digital codes on the barcode on the fruit. You can tell from the GMOs to the regular stuff. And the regular stuff doesn't have to be, whole foods. But I'm just saying, I'm speaking to the person right now, the man, the lady, the child who don't have a lot of resources. I'm not referring to you. You're making $150,000, $200,000 a year and you buy everything top shelf. Hey, muy bueno. I'm in the same income bracket, but I still don't spend the same kind of money they spend, because the reality is I realize that most of that stuff is a bunch of marketing. But if you find yourself in a pinch financially and you're living like the Joneses, but you're not the Jones, then you got two choices. Number one, keep doing that and stress out, die early, or be on the street. Or number two, wisen up, put your head in a book with some experts, clinical research, and do your own study. And here's what I mean. So most of the people know who Dr. Sebi was, right? So Dr. Sebi, I happen to be an advocate of Dr. Sebi, and let me tell you why. And again, how does this tie into Family Finance Friday? This ties in because when you're overspending for the average things that you need to sustain yourself, sustenance and sustainability, just your regular life, no extras, you're getting robbed. Little foxes. Okay? So I stumbled upon Dr. Sebi probably about 7 years ago. And at that time, I started seeing that in the fall and the winter, I would have a lot of, to me, it wasn't a lot for a normal person, but it was a lot for me because I was already taking good care of my body. So I would have hardly any, but it was more than what I wanted. I would have phlegm occasionally. And I was like, man, where's this stuff coming from? I'm doing all the right things, doing da-da-da. And so one time, somebody told me about the Dr. Sebi. I watched his program. I did the research on him, and he just clearly broke it down. He said, the dairy products inflame the mucus system and create natural mucus in your body, which breaks down the immune system. And so I looked behind that, and you can contribute all those to every major ailment, disease, etc. Again, don't take my word for it. Prior to that, I very rarely consumed any dairy at that point. The only dairy that I generally would do, ice cream, cheese. Those would be about the only things that I would consume, right? Once I did my research on Dr. Sebi, and I said, hey, let me prove him wrong. He said, if you eliminate the dairy in your diet, it's going to eliminate the mucus. And if you eliminate the mucus in the body, it's going to increase the immune system, and it's going to stave off 90% of all the diseases are generated from those processes in your immune system being attacked by mucus. I said, man, it's almost hard to believe. Read the information, studied it. I said, you know what? Let me try it. I said, I'm going to give it 30 days. 30 days, eliminated all the dairy. Boom. Mucus, phlegm, zero. Health, better. From there, ever since, I've been an active, non-dairy consumer and been right like rain. Now, this is not an endorsement for Dr. Sebi, but my point is, do your own research, come to your own physical conclusions, and especially as it pertains to spending your money on these high-end products that are in your regular dietary system. Okay? Now, same thing. 1995. I read a book by the Lalonde brothers called The Mark of the Beast. And it talked about technologies that weren't out then, but are now. Smartphones, chips, all that stuff. Then I also read about the radio, active, of the cell phones and stuff. So you start to eliminate and you see the exact results from your own physical, guinea pig being myself. Then I read about the digestive system on about beef and pork and how it stays elongated in the intestinal tract for months and years. I eliminated that stuff, ladies and gentlemen. And guess what? My health elevated. Now, and just as recent, because I get the physical every year, like you should. So I go get a physical this past March. And I am notoriously a late night guy. Generally don't go to bed 2-3 o'clock in the morning. That's just the way I am. And ever since I've been free, I've been having the affordability that I can stay up late and get up late because I don't have a job. Okay. So I get my, physical. And so when I stay up late, I have a tendency, snack a little bit and shouldn't be snacking. So my physician says, hey man, these levels here are elevated a little bit. It's not a danger zone, but have you been feeling any discomfort or anything that I said, man, I kind of felt a little bit here and there. So I looked in my cabinet and everything, and I've told the story before, and I'm looking at, my children, the stuff that they consume. And I say, oh man, I got chips here. I got, chocolates here. I got this stuff here. And I see how a little bit of stuff starts sneaking into the house. And since I'm, a stickler for saving money, even though I don't consume it, but if I paid for it, I can't justify throwing it out. So sometimes I might nibble on some stuff that I should, because nobody's perfect, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So here's my point. So March 25th, I think I was about 164 pounds, 165 pounds. All right. I immediately, when he told me, hey man, you're elevating, you could go into potentially, pre-diabetes. And I had heard that during the Savvy days. I said, man, there's no way. So I looked around, I said, man, I am eating a little bit of, chocolate every now and then, some chips and everything. I can see how that can elevate the sugars. So I immediately, self-guinea pig, self-preservation. I looked in my kitchen. I see I got chocolate cake because I'm a chocoholic sitting on the kitchen table. I got some, gourmet chocolate chip cookies sitting on my island. And I don't consume those every day, but I would eat them every time I get a victory. So was having a lot of victories, doing a lot of consumption, right? So I immediately eliminated those. I immediately saw that I start having, more sodium in my house than I normally do. Sodium and spices that typically I don't consume. Threw all that stuff out, right? Immediately went to a regiment called 10-3-2-1. 10-3-2-1. And what does that mean? That means 10 hours before I go to bed, I consume no caffeine. And albeit I very rarely consume any caffeine anyway. So 10 hours prior, no caffeine, ladies and gentlemen. 3 hours prior, no food consumption 3 hours before you go to sleep. So for me, that means now I don't consume anything after 9 p.m. Okay. Even if I stay up to 2 o'clock in the morning, 9 p.m. 2 hours before I go to sleep, no liquids whatsoever. And one hour before I go to sleep, I make sure I eliminate all blue light and all that and just get a calm, cool selection. So here's the moral of the story. I eliminated all that stuff and I went strictly, and I also eliminate some of the protein that was high in cholesterol, because I used to consume, eggs for breakfast every day. I have eggs and turkey bacon for my protein, intake. So I switched that up. I went back to the oatmeal and the fruits, and I went back to the legumes to replace, eating eggs every day. So now I eat eggs twice a week, Friday and Saturday or Saturday and Sunday. But here's the moral of the story. Real life testimony. Rescheduled another blood exam to get my blood work checked out. So I got my blood work checked out. I went to this regimen, eliminated all that stuff. I increased my workout. Okay. Increase my workout. I call it 15 minutes of hell. Increase my workout. Went back, got my blood work done again. In 6 weeks, shaved off almost 15 pounds of bad fat, increased my muscular, eliminated everything that was even borderline perfect. Blood pressure today, 109/65. I take my blood pressure every day, because they even said, hey, man, your blood pressure looks like it might be spiking. And even though I might have been a person, I go to a medical office and I have what's called white flight, white uniform, whatever it is, where your blood pressure, you didn't even know, it's unconsciously, it just spikes up a little bit. So when I had my blood pressure taken at the doctor, first time it's 130, 139 over 77. Really, it's not really high, but that's considered high. Second time I go back, I'm at 118/80. The last 3 weeks, mine's been averaging like 111/70. But guess what? My cost in my acquisition of foods actually gone down by almost 25%. 25%. Because now I'm strategically, purposely buying things that I can stretch out. What do I mean by that? And you don't have to do this, but I'm talking to the person that is struggling financially. And I'm even talking to the person that's doing well, because it's just smart as well. So I don't know if you're familiar with the crock pot. So the crock pot. So now, love the crock pot. So I have 2 crock pots in my home. So now I go to the crock pot once a week. I put my kales, my natural legumes, which are called mango beans, which are super foods. Okay. So there are some legitimate superfoods. I go to those, put those together, fill up a huge crock pot. And guess what? I'm eating great, healthy kale, legumes 3 days, because you ain't eating everything in a crock pot when you make it the first day. And it don't even taste the best the first day. It marinates. So now the routine is on Thursday, I break out the crock pot, or Wednesday, I break out the crock pot. I also go down to 2 meals a day now. So when I looked at my expenditures for my groceries, normally I would go to the grocery store, twice a month, and I'm usually spending like $250 to $300. Over the last 6 weeks, I've been spending like $200 to $180. 25 to 30% deduction in my food bill. But guess what? 100% improve in my health. And my children, my older son came home. Dad, what you doing? Man, you look phenomenal, man. You're looking awesome. So, we're doing some pull-ups and some sit-ups, and I'm knocking them down. Damn, they're beating him. And he's 20 years of age. So the proof is in the pudding. So when I looked at the increases in the health, and I went and looked at the numbers of the money that I was spending, that I was saving 25 to 30%, I can only get excited, because think about it. That's $60 twice a month. That's $120. That's $1,500 a year. If you took that $1,500 a year and you put it in a emergency fund, a high yield money market account paying 5 to 6% interest, which they do exist, ladies and gentlemen, or if I just threw that into my Roth IRA that never makes less than 7 to 12% because I picked it right when I first opened it up, 5 years time, that's $7,500 just on the principal. But if I got a 7 to 12% return, that means I'm now making an additional $4,000 or $5,000. Think about it. Let's go to your utilities. And God bless you who have a TV in every room. God bless you. I have 2 televisions in my house, and I barely have 2 televisions in my house. And again, I'm not here casting any judgment on anybody. I'm just saying, let's be wise. Common sense is not common knowledge. I forgot what the saying, because I'm saying it wrong, Nick. You might better help me out. I used to get this great all the time because it used to be one of my favorite sayings. But it's, common sense, not common knowledge, something like that. But here's my point, okay? Everything in your house is plugged into a socket. All right? Everything. And even when you turn it off, if it's plugged into a socket, it is grabbing electricity. And that electricity ain't free. So if you have a television in every room and that television is plugged in and that room is not being utilized, you're still paying the utility man for that electricity. Okay? Now, this you might seem as extreme, but I can guarantee you that this will save you 15 to 30% on your utilities month in and month out, what I'm about to share with you. Because this is something I have been doing consistently for 27 years. That's right. Since 1997, I've been doing what I'm about to say to you. And you can check with anybody that knows me that I'm telling the truth. So the saying here, I do know this saying, tell the truth, shame the devil. Because this is something that my friends in my personal circle used to try to clown me about. In my home, I unplug everything except my refrigerator and my stove like clockwork. I have trained my children the same way. And when I first revealed this to my close friends back in the late 90s, they were clowning me. Man, you must be out of your rabbit mind. Dude, that is ridiculous. I said, okay. So I said, let's just do a 30-day test. They said, I'm not doing. I said, okay. Man, and you're probably not saving anything. All right, no problem. I said, let's everybody put the utility bills, electricity, anything that's involved around electricity. Let's just pull that bad boy out. We pull out our electricity bills. Let's just say for an average home in America that's 2,500 square feet, your average utility bill on electricity is at least $200 to $250 a month. Okay? So, pull out my utility bill. They pull out theirs. Boom. Mine's about 100, 120. Theirs about 230, 240. I say, tell you what. I'm going to show you how much more money and how less of a challenge it is just to do this. So, most of them don't do it. They come back the next month. It's summer. Now electricity bill $500, $600, $700. My electricity bill, ladies and gentlemen, still hovering around 120. Now, factually, my electricity bill last month for April was like $29.50. And that's not me sweltering in my house or anything like that. That's everything fluid, working well, but it's so strategic because it's a habit that I unplug these. And what you'll find out from the reserve of your computers, it is recommended that you unplug your computers so that they can refresh and replenish themselves. Now, I didn't know that until several years ago was a bonus of doing what I do. So guess what's happening right now in the economy? Our kilowatts going up in price or down in price? They're going up because we're about to embark upon the summer. So right now, I'm in a renewal process. My kilowatts used to be 10.9 cents per kilowatt, and that was for 2,000 kilowatts. I barely use 1,000 kilowatts a month. So since I don't even have the threshold, I have to pay the higher kilowatt rate. So I'm talking to my energy guy, Riz. He's like, yeah, based on what you do, DJ, you're not going to meet these anyway. So the rate is like 13.5, 14%. He said, you really don't have to worry about that anyway. He said, because you're barely using 1,000. So in direct correlation to somebody has the same size house I have, same comfort. My house is cool, just like theirs. Maybe just a little bit, they might have their, thermometer on, 68. I may have mine on 72. They're running theirs 24/7. If I'm not at home, I'm running mine only when I'm at home. When it gets a certain time at night, I have it set so it comes on for a couple of hours, it comes off. So in the summer, for an average house that's 2,500 square feet, that's spending $300 to $600 a month, I'm spending $100, $125. So I'm saving 3x more. And then when these friends that I'm telling you about used to clown me, they started doing it, didn't tell me. And then all of a sudden they saw a 30% decrease in their actual energy bills. And they got on the bus. So think about that. You're middle class and your regular utility bill is $300 a month, but now you save $100 and you're getting the same service, the same comfort. Emphasis on comfort. When it's hot, you're cool inside. When it's cold outside, you're warm inside, but you're saving $100 a month. That's $1,200 a year. Now, couple that with the $1,500 that I just saved you on your insurance. That's $2,700 a year. Now, what is the average raise in America? If you make $100,000, you're lucky to get a 3% raise. What's 3% of $100,000? That's $3,000. I've just shown you here on Family Finance Friday, 2 simple moves. Put $3,000 in your pocket. Take that $3,000, get a 12% return. Your money's doubling every 6 years. See, this is when budgeting becomes sexy, because think about compound versus linear. So we do that in everything. Food, utilities, insurance, vehicles, houses. That multiplies. So right now, if you find yourself in a pinch, ask yourself a question. Do I need the Nike versus the store brand? Do I need the Gucci versus the store brand? Especially in the grocery store. Do I need the ABC brand, or is the store brand the same quality? Everybody who eats oatmeal likes the high quality stuff. So I get the instant oatmeal. Quaker versus the home brand, same oats, 2 times more. But again, this ain't sexy to you, but it sure is sexy to me when I'm consumer debt free. I'm stress free. I have a great emergency fund, because those little maneuvers, guess where that money's going? Emergency fund. And when there is an oops, I can go right to the emergency fund, tap into that. And guess what? Nobody knows the difference. most of these stores in middle class America with their brands that are not the name brand, their products are just as high quality as theirs. And let me give you an example. And this is a brand that everybody loves, but they're getting away with highway robbery. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody ever heard of this little small company called Lululemon? I was given a gift for my birthday or something like that. Lululemon. I couldn't fit the gift that was given to me. I go take it back. I have no idea what they stuff cost. Right? I go in, I try to, find something that I liked. Just wasn't working out. Still have no idea what. I look up a regular pair of shorts, guys. Yeah. These blue shorts I got on right here. Regular pair of shorts like that. Nick, how much you think those shorts cost in Lululemon?
Oh well, I mean, I'm kind of familiar with Lululemon, from seeing it in the high end malls and on the advertisements. So I think those shorts had to be a few $100s,
bruh. Like $90.
$90, yeah.
Like to pass out, brother. I said, wait a minute. Oh yeah, good $90. Guess how much these shorts I got on cost?
Man, probably like $15, $20, something like that.
$15. Same, might be just a little less different quality, but you can't tell a difference. But there goes $75 that I put right back in my pocket. I'm just saying, folks. I'm just saying. Got the stretch, feel good, but I got $75 back in my pocket. Now I'm not picking on Lululemon, but that was the first thing that came to my mind. Think about that. I'll break it down to you even better. On these streets right here, ladies and gentlemen, we always like to support our podcasters. What is the primary thing that the podcasters market first off the rip? What's the first thing they market? What are we marketing right now?
Oh, what
we got it on.
Oh, yeah, the merch, yeah.
The merch.
Yeah.
Now, dude, this will, ladies and gentlemen, we got on our merch, our brand, which everybody does, and that's what you're supposed to do. These t-shirts, canvas or whatever they called, or Gildan, the t-shirts. These t-shirts without the stuff on it. These t-shirts are running $10, $15 based on volume. But you can go to the wholesale place and you can get these t-shirts. Nice quality, because we like nice quality. Remember, our motto is, tell them what our motto is, Nick.
We love Neiman Marcus quality for Walmart prices, but we don't like Walmart crap at Walmart prices.
Exactly. These t-shirts, when we first got into this merch business, these t-shirts at the wholesale place that have them online, $5. Then when you put your stuff on it, and this is where the gouging, because you are emotionally tied into people. People are paying for their favorite podcaster show $46 for a t-shirt. I don't care if it had the Taj Mahal on it. I'm not giving you $46 of my hard-earned money. And here's the rub. This is Family Finance Friday. Here's the rub. They're not even doing the freaking work. They're outsourcing the Teespring, so they don't have no money locked in, regardless if you buy or not. But you just gave them $46 of your hard-earned money. And better yet, you gave them $46 of after-tax money. Now, I want this to sit in for you. Because if you made $30,000 a year, after taxes, you're luckily taking home $22,700, which is basically about $1,800 a month. And you just gave that person $46. Man, let's pull up a calculator. And this is where the only time I like quoting Deion Sanders. Pull up a calculator. You're giving this person $46. Don't let me get into the hoodies and the sweats. You got cats out here charging people $100 for a damn hoodie. Let's just pull up the calculator. You're giving a person $46. You're making $1,800. Take 46 divided by 1,800. Damn. That's 3% of your take-home pay. Now, let's throw up the hoodie. The average hoodie that I've seen on these people's platform, you ain't getting. Because the hoodies, they look nice. They fancy, they sharp, got the thick strings, got the little fancy stuff on them. You're paying these people. I'm just going to be conservative. $75 for a hoodie. $75 for a hoodie. $46 for a t-shirt. 76.45 equals how much? $120. Now divide that by your $1,800 after tax money. You spend 7% of your after tax dollars on stuff. And this just reminds me when I was on our friend's show and she sent me this video about this young lady who made $20,000 a year, but she had a $1,000 car note. And you think that's the exception to the rule. The reality is a lot of you young people are spending foolishly on this stuff. And then you wonder why you are in the bad credit column. You are in the bankruptcy column. You're in the I can't pay my mortgage column. Because you're trying to chase the Joneses, and the Joneses don't give a rip about you. Now, that's just a small equation. Now, let's just talk about the people who, oh man, you go out 2-3 times a month. And you should go out and enjoy yourself 2-3 times a month. So I just took my daughter and sons out last month for their birthday, for my daughter's birthday. So it's 6 of us. And again, man, I'm not splurging, but we go to their favorite spot and we're buying the family meal and everything, right? The average entree was like $20. And it wasn't a lot of food. It was actually more because I took my daughter to Cheesecake Factory because that's where she wanted to go. And guess what? We went doing happy hour. And check this out, Nick. And y'all check this out, ladies and gentlemen. You can appreciate it. So we asked them, we said, hey, do you have to sit at the bar to get the happy hour special? And the lady said, no, let me show you to your booth. So we get to the booth. We're looking at the happy hour menu, and the prices are like 30-40% less. So we ordering up the samosas. We're ordering up the Southwestern egg rolls, which is some of their favorites. And so all of a sudden they come back and they get ready to give us the bill. They give us the bill based on the regular price. I said, oh, hold up, man. it's still happy hour, right? Yeah, happy hour. I said, so we supposed to get the happy hour. Oh, well, you got to be sitting at the bar. Well, that's not what the young lady told me. I said, well, tell you what, we can move right over to the happy hour spot, and you're going to come back with the happy hour price. Now, what would most people have done in that situation, Nick? Tell the truth. Shame the devil. What would most people done, even though they had, consumed about 50% of the stuff? What would most people have done?
Oh, they would have. I mean, they probably would have raised hell. They probably would have argued with the folks about the happy hour price.
Now that's what we would have done. But most people who are professional, calm, cool, collected, they would have just went on and paid the full price because they don't want to evoke a scene or anything, and they don't want to seem, pushy and everything. No, I said, excuse me, you brought me to this table. I explicitly asked you, was the happy hour price only at the bar area or is it anywhere? And you said it's anywhere. You gave us a happy hour menu and you took us to a booth. So they were like, well, yeah. The manager came over because that's all. He was, oh, well. I said, hey, man, I'm not finished with my meal. We weren't getting ready to leave. Your person gave me the bill. You can take our stuff, find us a spot in the happy hour area, and put our stuff down. And they did that, and they didn't want to do it. And I said, well, hey, we either do that, I'm not paying. Now, if I just came in, didn't ask about it, that's on me. But this is your mistake. So we got up, get our stuff, and my kids, oh, Dad, why we got to do this? And so I just sat down with push clear on the calculator. I'm going to just show you. 6 people, average entree at the happy hour was $20. 20 times 6.
Yeah, that's 120.
It's 120. Yeah. Now you got 10% tax.
Mm-hmm.
So drop another $12 on there.
Yep. So
now what you got now? If you got service, what you got to do?
Yeah, tip.
You got a tip. And here's the trick, ladies and gentlemen. They getting so obnoxious with this tip thing. They bring you a receipt and the tip start at 15% up to 22%.
Mm-hmm.
So now they think you're going to give them a 15% tip. Tack on 15% on 132.
So that's about enough. We'll just call it $20 because it's come out to $19.95. So
yep. Boom.
$20.
152 times that times 4.3 because there's 4.3 weeks in a month.
4.3.
$653.60. Now let's add in the 100 for the utility. And what the other one was that was 2,700, so that was about 220. Add on another 220. Boom. Times that times 12. That's a damn retirement plan. The maximum you can invest in a Roth IRA is $587 a month. That's 2 fully funded Roth IRAs. And how many times will you have people tell you, I can't afford this, I can't afford that? But how many times you see people go out once a week, paying the premium for the merch? Hey, and you may think I'm an extremist, but they got everything plugged in their house. The rooms they ain't in, they all plugged in. They all draining electricity, and the electricity company love them. And guess what? You don't even own stock in the electricity company. Does this sound familiar, ladies and gentlemen? Now, let's take that number there. Let's put a 7% return on it. Times that times 7%. All right. Times that number. So you got $11,683. I'm going to keep that number in my head. Times the interest times 10.
All right. So this 817 times 10.
Yep.
All right.
Now add that to your $11,683.
$11,683.
Boom. You just made yourself $20,000 and you did not do anything special. What you did do is become disciplined, accountable. You turn the tables and start getting Neiman Market stuff at Walmart prices, and you just stayed the course. How many people do we meet that make six figures and they don't even have that in their emergency fund?
Happens every day.
Happens every day like clockwork and ain't never gonna stop. As P.T. Barnum said, there's a fool born every minute. And they say it's amazing that the fool even got together with their money in the first place. Because they say a fool and his money will soon part. And that's the message today on Family Finance Friday. Because when you tell yourself you can't afford this, you can't afford that, ask yourself a question. Are you living vicariously through other people, buying other people's brand stuff in lieu of taking care of your personal house? You should run it like a business. Because you want to be in the black, you got to act with discipline. Now imagine if you took it to the next level and rate of returns with investment properties and businesses, all that. And here's another thing I want to share with you, ladies and gentlemen. Here's another way social media works against you. When you are seeing people that are giving, oh man, I'm going to get you 30, 40, 50, 60, 70% return on your money per year, you are delusional. It always never ceased to amaze me when somebody in this market tells me, oh man, wow, man, 12%, man, that's not a lot. Okay. Well, go talk to the hedge fund guys, the money managers who manage $200, $300, $400 million, and the average one is ecstatic about getting a 7 to 12% return net. But you're telling me, oh, DJ, 18.75%, that don't fit my portfolio. Okay. What is your portfolio doing right now? Because I know unless you are Warren Buffett or someone like that in the top 1% of the 1%ers, your portfolio and your dividends, your mutual funds, your ETFs. Oh, and then you've got your really best ones that you like, you know, your funds that, you know, never go down because you're an expert. But stop lying to yourselves, okay? Stop lying to yourselves. If you right now can get a solid investment that's giving you a net return of 7 to 12%, you are winning majorly. Because again, based on the rule of 72, if I divide 7 into 72, my money doubles every 10 years. If I get a 12% return, divide that into 72, my money doubles every 6 years. And if you were getting those massive returns all your lives, you wouldn't need us. So the first return that you're going to get is on that credit card that you're paying 29% interest on. But if you ain't applying these simple rules of money that I just shown you in financial literacy, you're not getting that either. So before you get so emotionally tied in to following the Joneses, understand that the powers that be, the top 1%ers, they dictate how you live your life because you are an experiment to them. And that's why the entertainment industry is so huge. And the gaming industry is so huge. And the legal gambling is out of control right now. Because when times are tough, we live vicariously through entertainment. I can bet you that most of you watching this program, if you're not just like us, because a lot of times you're attracted to who you are, you have every channel under the sun. You don't have cable anymore, but you got Hulu, you got Prime, you got Netflix, you got Tubi, you got all. Guess what? They all add up. Yeah, man, $5.95 here, HBO Max $6.95 here, and you don't even watch that stuff. But oh man, it was only $6.95. Man, it's the Fugazi, baby. So am I saying, man, cut back and just live a super frugal life? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you are out of control, maybe you might go in and see what you really need versus what you want and start applying your needs and think about your wants later. Because again, your next door neighbor, your peer, your associate, or these people on social landscape, they don't give a rip about what's going on with you financially. But they will be the first ones that will scrutinize you, clown you, all this silly stuff, because they got you to fall for the okie doke. But the irony of this message is, if you don't fall for the okie doke, they'll be the first ones calling you to borrow money. Have we ever had that friend or peer who makes so much more money than you do, but they're always asking you to borrow money from them? Because they living like a millionaire, but they're spending $1.5 million to live like a millionaire. If they're a thousandaire, they're spending $2,000 to live like a thousandaire. You understand what I'm saying? The rule of wealth is not how much money you make. It's how much your money makes for you and you keep at the end of the day. And if you buy high quality things at Walmart prices, you're going to be good. That's the rule of the message today. So you should always want and aspire to have Neiman Marcus stuff at Walmart prices, because when times are tough, you'll still be able to stay the course. And those who've been spending Neiman Marcus prices on Neiman Marcus stuff, they'll be the ones in the welfare line. They'll be the ones jumping off the Empire State Building. They'll be the ones ringing your phone for borrowing money. And they'll be the ones who don't sleep well at night while you're sleeping quiet like a church mouse. So I think I've said all I need to say today on this version of the Family Finance Friday. And I hope you take this to heart. I hope you don't be shamed or pressured to buy stuff. Holidays are commercial marketing tools for the sheep. Let me say that again. Let's put that up on the screen, Nick. Holidays are the commercial marketing tools for the sheep. Every holiday is triggered for retail sales only. Every now Heritage Month is triggered for retail sales only. I'm going to shame you into overspending on Mother's Day. I'm going to shame you into overspending on Memorial Day. I'm going to shame you for overspending on Father's Day. Let me tell you this. The people who really care about you, the people who really love you, if they're on the recipient end of gifts, they're not really concerned about how much you spend on a gift or showing out. They're mostly concerned that you acknowledge their holiday, their birthday, and you were present. That's the present. And I literally was talking to a couple of clients, and they were up in stress over this past Mother's Day, and they were talking about how they felt compelled. They had to buy this, and they had to buy that, and they had to buy. I said, guess what? Your mom is not concerned with that. I said, guess what? My mom doesn't live in the same state I live in. My mom got, the phone call face to face with me, the children, the card, basic stuff. And I'm going to see my mom next week in person? Do I need to go over the hill and spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on overpriced stuff for my mother to know that I love her? Absolutely not. Because the real love is I'm talking to my mom on a regular basis. The real love is my mom spending a lot of, quantity time with her grandchildren. So I don't need to overspend on stuff. And when we do our family trips, which we've done a lot with my mother, we're together. And if you are in a relationship that the only way to prove to your wife, husband, significant other is that you overspend on stuff, you might want to reassess that relationship. Because is it really real? That's just food for thought. So we're going to get up out of here. This is Family Finance Friday. I hope that we drop some nuggets on you to make sense. And here's what I would leave with you. If you're watching this right now live or you're watching it in the replay and you said, DJ, I already know that. Here's what I always tell people. Book knowledge and applied knowledge are two different things. We're in the application business. So if you know this, but you're still getting bad results, maybe you might want to start applying it. That's the key thing at the end of the day. Real talk. So I thank you for watching Family Finance Friday with Nick Westbrooks and yours truly, DJ the Money Coach. We appreciate you. Like, subscribe, and share. And as always, we wish you a pom-pom lifestyle that's plenty of money and peace of mind. And come join us on the beaches of the World Club and take a bite out of Zanzibar. And life will be great, because if your beach ain't Zanzibar, find, debt freedom. Find common sense. And be unapologetic about it. And you will always have peace of mind. I can guarantee that. So thank you guys for watching. Enjoy your Friday. May everybody be safe and have a spectacular weekend. God bless.
Some of the best things that I like about Zanzibar was being on the land, seeing the emerald water.
Got to see the island, connect with the people, do exclusive luxury experiences that you'll only get on the island of Zanzibar.
The beach, fresh food, the people. I mean, I could write a short book about what I experienced here.
Eating the best fruit, vegetables, seafood.
Met some amazing people. We had an amazing time.
I like the tours that we went on, the Spice Island, Paradise Island.
The snorkeling. That was an exclusive experience. Huge sandbar. That was set up like our private dining area. The sand is soft, the water warm.
Unadulterated, pure, simple, Zanzibar.
So the opportunity in Zanzibar is very, 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 very clear. There is nothing but economical growth and development happening right now.
Zanzibar, just because it's
an up and coming area.
Get here and you see the opportunity.
And then you come on the African side, you get to see even a different type of togetherness.
Being able to ask questions, and DJ was just like, hey, ask me anything.
Plenty of money and peace of mind. Zanzibar all day.